Life is a curved construction, time is its builder, and choice is its master architect. You can use the slight edge to break free of the downward pull of life and become the best you can possibly be. Or the slight edge will pull you down, keep you down, and eventually take you out. It's up to you. For things to change, you've got to change. For things to get better, you've got to get better. It's easy to do. If you want to measure where you are, if you want to know whether you're on the success curve or on the failure curve, or if you want to assess anyone else and determine which curve they're on, here's how. There is one attitude, one state of mind, which overwhelmingly predominates either sides of the curve. The predominant state of mind displayed by those people on the failure curve is blame. The predominant state of mind displayed by those people on the success curve is responsibility. People on the success curve live a life of responsibility. They take full responsibility for who they are, where they are, and everything that happens to them. When you don't take responsibility, when you blame others, circumstances, fate, or chance, you give away your power. When you take and retain full responsibility, even when others are wrong or the situation is genuinely unfair, you keep your life's reins in your own hands. A man can fail many times, but he isn't a failure until he begins to blame somebody else. If it's going to be, it's up to me. They understand that it is not what happens to them that's important, but how they respond to what happens that makes the difference between their failure and success. Take care with what you think, because what you think, multiplied by action plus time, will create what you get. Responsibility starts with the willingness to deal with a situation from and with the point of view, whether at the moment realized or not, that you are the source of what you are, what you do, and what you have. People on the failure curve tend to focus on their past, and it pulls them down. People on the success curve don't ignore the past, but they use it as a tool, one of many with which they build their futures. People on the success curve make themselves experts in what's right and let go of what's wrong. One of the quickest and most direct routes to getting yourself up and onto the success curve is to get out of the past. Review it, understand and take responsibility for the errors you've made, and use it as a tool to do differently in the future. And don't spend a great deal of time doing even that. The future is a far better tool than the past. The future is your most powerful tool and your best friend. You can't change the past. You can change the future. Would you rather be influenced by something you can't change or by something you can? Life is not a practice session. There's no dress rehearsal. This is it. This is for real. So play it straight and be real with yourself. Take a look at your life and tell the truth about where you really are at. A genuinely successful life means your health, your happiness, your relationships, your personal development, your career, your spirituality, your sense of fulfillment, your legacy, and the impact you have on the world. It means all these things and more. And the best thing about genuine success is that it spreads. Like ripples in a pond, even small successes in any one of these areas begins to affect all the others too. Everything affects everything else. The key is, start somewhere. Wherever you can take action and begin creating little successes, do it. Don't wait. The rest of your life is waiting. No matter where you are at any moment, you can choose to step onto the success curve. There is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is the definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and a burning desire to possess it. Mastery is not some vaunted lofty place that only the elite few ever inhabit. The pursuit of any aim, goal, or dream, personal, professional, spiritual, in any area, is a slight-edged journey of continuous improvement, learning, and refinement. But mastery is not an exalted state that lies at the end of the path. It is a state of mind that lies at the very beginning. Mastery is in the act of setting your foot on the path, not in reaching its end. And here's the fascinating part. All infants are successful. As infants, we are all masters. That's just the way we're designed. All newborns instinctively understand the slight edge. Are there any situations in your life today where you've given up and decided to keep crawling for the rest of your life rather than go for what you really want, what you truly deserve? The answer is as simple as it is sad. Somewhere along the way, you lost faith. You became too grown up to take baby steps, too sure you would never succeed to let yourself fail a few times first. It is this, settling for less, giving up on the power of baby steps, and embracing failure soon becomes a habit. And as always, all you need to do is turn over the coin to find the good news here. It is just as easy to step back into the habit of succeeding as it is to slip into the habit of failing. The longer you live, the easier it can get. You can step back onto the path of mastery any time you want. This is one reason that when you are formulating goals and creating a vision for your future, it's important to be careful whom you share them with. The pain of wanting, the burning desire to possess what you lack, is one of the greatest allies you have. It is a force you can harness to create whatever you want in your life. The size of the problem determines the size of the person. You can gauge the limitations of a person's life by the size of the problems that get him or her down. People who live with huge, vivid, clearly articulated dreams are pulled along towards those dreams with such force they become practically unstoppable. When the journey seems daunting, easy not to do can be a lot more appealing than easy to do. Hey, hit the snooze button. Who will know the difference, right? But remember, you have got to go one direction or the other. You can't stand still. The universe is curved, and everything is constantly changing. There are only two possibilities. Either you let go of where you are and get to where you could be, or you hang on to where you are and give up where you could be. Remember, this is the slight edge, and doing nothing means going down. It's your choice. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do, and that often means living outside the limits of one's comfort zone. This means changing your thinking about the comfort zone. It's a change in philosophy. It means embracing living uncomfortably in order to attain a life that is genuinely comfortable, not deceptively comfortable. The key to success is to identify those things that are eventually going to become self-evident before they are self-evident. Or to put it even more simply, find out what the majority is doing and do the opposite, which can be uncomfortable. When you side with the slight edge, you always win. Wanting is uncomfortable, yet wanting is essential to winning. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. And in the task called your life, what are the tools of the job? They are simply you. You are the axe. Time may not heal all wounds, but it does bring about all change, sooner or later. But in terms of living and mastering the slight edge, the most important force you can harness to accelerate and amplify your path through life is the power of continuous learning. Once you've grasped the philosophy of the slight edge and set foot on the path of mastery, educating yourself through any and all means available is the critical process that will keep you on that path and make the slight edge work for you. Continuous, lifelong learning is the material from which you continually build your philosophy and your understanding of how it plays out in real life situations and circumstances, which is also critical in mastering the slight edge. Invest in yourself. Sharpen your axe. Read just one chapter of an information-rich, inspiring book every day. Listen to 15 minutes of a life-transforming audio. Take a course or seminar every few weeks or months. There are two kinds of learning: learning by study and learning by doing. Life is not a spectator sport. As a matter of fact, it's a contact sport, and there are no practice sessions, and you've been in the game from day one. Life lives in the right here, right now. Do the thing and you shall have the power. The only way to have the power is to do the thing. Just do it. Learn by doing. You can't build your dream by what you're going to do, or planning to do, or intending to do. You only build your dream by building it. Life is doing. If you are not doing, you're dying. Knowledge without practice is useless, and practice without knowledge is dangerous. Book smarts, street smarts, learning by study, learning by doing. Read about it, apply it, see it in action. Take that practical experience back to your reading, deepen your understanding. Take that deeper understanding back to your activity. It's a never-ending cycle. What's the shortest path between 2 points? A straight line, right? Wrong. While that might be true in theory, it's never true in reality. In the real universe, everything is curved, and reality is where you and I live, and where we succeed or fail. Knowing where it is you want to go, and knowing how the slight edge works to take you there, you make the adjustments automatically. You make those right choices, the ones that serve you. You do those simple, seemingly insignificant things that forward your progress up the success curve. Once you know the slight edge, you know that in getting from point A to point B, you'll be off track most of the time. And you know that it's the adjustments, those little, seemingly insignificant corrections in direction, that have the most power in your life. Which means there is nobody more effective at undermining your success, and nobody more effective at supporting your success. The principal aim in self-investment is to train how you think and what you think. The truth is, the subconscious runs virtually everything. The sobering fact is you do 99.99% of everything you do on automatic pilot. What determines where you end up? It's all a question of what route you have programmed into your subconscious. And that's something that you can let others program for you, such as your school, parents, teachers, friends, TV, etc. Or you can choose to program it yourself. It's up to you. So, how do you program that life route? The same way you learn to tie your shoes. You create it first with intention, with your conscious mind, and then repeat it over and over in slight edge fashion until it is handed off to your subconscious, at which point those 3 magic words kick in. It becomes automatic. On the path to a goal, you will be off course most of the time, which means the only way to reach a goal is through constant and continuous course correction. All the great learning traditions say the same thing. If you want to learn how to do something well, go find someone who has already mastered that skill and apprentice yourself. Personal development is not something you can pursue as an armchair expert, not something you can master from the sidelines. It has to be a contact sport, one where you are in contact with others who can help you on your journey. What we're talking about here is the power of a mentor.